Wembley Stadium in North London, which in about 3 months' time is going to be absolutely jumping as the Champions League final comes to town. Two potential dark horses for a place in the big game are meeting in the last 16. You've got Borussia Dortmund taking on Shakhtar Donetsk. Of course, Borussia Dortmund impressed many people in the group stages, drawn alongside Manchester City, Ajax and Real Madrid. It was Jurgen Klopp's men who emerged as winners. Shakhtar too thrilled many. Their exciting brand of attacking football saw off Chelsea amongst others, but they have suffered a bit of a blow in the January transfer window with the €35 million sale of their Brazilian Willian to Anti. Well, I'm James Richardson, Carlo Gaganese, Pete Staunton, and this is Shakhtar Donetsk, Borussia Dortmund. A very exciting tie, this. Alessia Di Maria tweeting in saying, do these two sides play the best football in the Champions League?
I think they were the two most exciting teams in the group stages, two attacking, expansive teams. They're actually in the two toughest groups, and yet we saw Shakhtar really take it to Chelsea, the European champions, to Juventus in Turin when they should have won and they drew. And Dortmund as well, Real Madrid and Manchester City, the respective champions of Spain and England, and they played great in all those games.
Pete, would you go along with that?
I think I would. Plus, you look at games like Arsenal and Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, Manchester United and AC Milan and Barcelona, and they have the real sort of headline quality. But I think on an aesthetic level, these two teams, Shakhtar Donetsk and Dortmund, they do give great value over a course of 90 minutes, and I think it's going to be a real treat for fans to see these two go at each other twice in the last 16 of the Champions League.
Shakhtar were a bit of a revelation, I think, to a lot of people, those early group games. But do you think those days are over now, perhaps, with the departure of Willian, the fact that they were already beginning to play a more conservative type of football in the group, the latter group games, and also the fact they've been on this enormous winter break?
I think there are a few things that are working against them. The winter break from December until March, the loss of Willian, who is potentially a world-class player. However, having said that, Mircea Lucescu, their coach, he's been there for 9 years now. They've got 9 of the team that played in the Europa League 2009 finals. They're a very settled team, and the loss of Willian, he's been replaced by Tyson, who's a pretty handy player himself. So they're not going to change the way they play. And I think they're still potentially a dark horse, even for the title this season.
They do have a terrific record at home as well, Shakhtar. Borussia Dortmund, this time last year, have been the worst kind of fixture for them, though, because they'd had a rotten time of it away from home in the Champions League. But when you look at this year's outfit, the change is quite remarkable. They're coming through that incredible group, as you mentioned, unscathed. And now a lot of people would have them as favourites for this, Pete.
It's almost a reverse of fortunes as it was last season, where the Bundesliga campaign was no problem to them. It was a bit of a dawdle, a bit of a breeze, and the Champions League campaign just really couldn't get off the ground. And this season before Christmas, we saw the reverse. We saw them struggle in the Bundesliga and trying to hang on to Bayern Munich, but then they go on top a group that contains Real Madrid, Manchester City and Ajax. One thing I would say, however, and add a caveat to Dortmund's play, is that they conceded 2 vital away goals during the group stage. They conceded a vital late away goal at Manchester City when Balotelli scored a penalty, and they also conceded late against Real Madrid, and those results cost them wins.
Ryan Kennedy tweeting in about Robert Lewandowski, who a lot of clubs are interested in, and there's been a lot of talk of him maybe moving to Bayern Munich at the end of this season. Do you think that that's going to have any impact, perhaps, on his performances with Borussia?
Well, the word from Germany was that the very fact that a transfer was mentioned caused a little bit of discord in the dressing room, as in, you know, maybe Robert Lewandowski is getting some opinions about himself and thinks that he's too big for Dortmund and it's time for him to move on to a club like a Bayern Munich or a Manchester United. But I wouldn't get too far ahead of myself if I was Robert Lewandowski, because I still think he's got some creases to iron out in his game. I think too often he misses chances that he should be expected to score, and he does tend to go missing as well, and it took him a while to get his first few goals of the season this time round.
All right, well, a quick prediction then. You have a sneaky feeling that Shakhtar might spring a surprise here.
I think that they'll go close, and their home record means that Dortmund will struggle. In the sense that they mightn't get the win that they need in Donetsk. But overall, I think Dortmund will have too much power for them. I think that big yellow wall behind the goal will roar them home, and I expect Dortmund to come through the tie.
Carlo?
Toss a coin. I really think it could go either way. Two great teams. I think a lot will depend on just how fit Shakhtar are after that long winter break. If those friendlies have got them fit, then they could win.
Well, this Wednesday you can see for yourself with the first leg between these two teams, Shakhtar Donetsk against Borussia Dortmund. You can follow all the action on goal.com. And if you have any other questions for our panel, just use the hashtag AskGoal.